Students, in the previous class we have discussed 6 questions of assertion and reasoning, and here for every assertion and for every reason here and what is the option, I am just discussing everything here. So I think up to now that is now clear. Let's see the rest of the questions here. So I think we have to solve still 7 to 17 10 questions here. So let's solve that. So here the first question is given to us, that is, so as in 7th number question assertion is given, the equipotential surface of the electric field of a point charge is a sphere with the charge at its center. So here it means we have to draw the equipotential surface for the point charge. Let's see first what is the equipotential surface for the point charge and which kind of structure it has. So as if in our space, if somewhere we have some point charge here, just like suppose this is our point charge, some plus q, then how can we just draw the equipotential surface here? So for that case we can take the help of the formula for point charge and the potential that is calculated due to it. So as you know that the potential for the point charge is given by k q upon r, means at some r distance if we have to calculate the potential due to the some charge q, then we can calculate by this formula easily. So if our charge q is point charge, that is stationary charge, that is fixed charge, then it means that here in this formula that we are seeing here q will not be changed, then the quantity that will be changed here, this is the here r. So it means that v is inversely proportional to here r. So and for the fixed r, if you will keep the r distance that is fixed, then for that case v will be fixed also. So it means suppose we are taking value of r that is equal to some 1 centimeter, suppose I am taking. So suppose 1 centimeter distance is at this point from the point this point charge plus q. So it means that whenever we will calculate the value of potential at this point, means at any point in the space that is at 1 centimeter distance from this point, all these points, at all these points obviously potential will be same here. So if you will just meet all these points, then the locus of these will represent a surface on that the potential is same everywhere, because this all these points on this sphere that you are seeing at this the potential is same from this formula at every point. So this is our definition of equipotential surface, means this is just such kind of surface for which the potential is same at everywhere at that surface. So here it means that the equipotential surface for a point charge is sphere here. So as according to this explanation, our first assertion that is given, this is true here. Now let's see the reason that is given in our question, whether it is explanation of assertion or not. So reason is given, that is the electric field in the region around a point charge is non-uniform. So here according to this one, as you know that around the any point charge, the electric field, if you will measure it, as the potential is changing continuously with distance, then it means that according to this concept that we have sorry, just 1 second students, here as according to the concept of the relation between potential and this electric field we have, that is E is equal to minus dV by dr that we have. So from here if you will calculate the electric field, so that will be different at some different distance here, means potential is also changing with distance. It means that electric field will be non-uniform in the field that or in the region that is around the point charge always. So it means electric field is changing with the distance continuously. So this is not the uniform field, this is non-uniform field. But as this reason it is correct, but as it is not explaining the reason or the explanation for the potential or equipotential surface that we have just drawn here. So it means that this reason is true, but it is not explaining in correct way the assertion here. So it means that the second option, B option, will be correct here for this one question. Next, in question number 8, assertion is given: for practical purpose, the earth is used as a reference at zero potential in the electrical circuit. So here this concept you know already, as earth, this is used to provide a particular reference point, zero potential in any electrical circuit, so that we can stabilize our circuit easily, or if excess of the charges at our any component, then we can just transfer it also there. So that's it. Assertion is simply this is true here. Now let's see reason. So reason is given: the electric potential of a sphere of radius r with charge q uniformly distributed on the surface is given by this formula. So this one we have still discussed here, and again let me discuss it. As it is given, we have a sphere that has radius r. So suppose this is our sphere and this is the radius r, then we have to calculate what will be the electric potential due to this one if q charge is distributed on this one. So it means that on the surface of this sphere, charge q are distributed here. So it if you will see the here the direction of the electric field, then the direction of electric field can be represented at any point on this sphere that is perpendicular to this plane that is given to us. So if you will just take all these lines in backward direction, then you can see that they are assumed to be comes out from one point here, and that we can take as the center of the sphere. So we can say that the whole of the charge that is distributed at the sphere of the the sphere that is given, that whole charge is concentrated at this center. So in the place of a sphere, we can take some charge q that is concentrated at center, and we have to now find out the potential due to this point charge at some distance r here. So this is just like the same thing that we have discussed for this one. Means we can assume this whole charge q that is distributed, that is comes out to be this center, and where q charge is situated in this way here, that is just like the point charge. So as due to point charge, you know that the potential is given by V is equal to k q by r here, and value of k is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0. So it means that according to this definition, our this thing q is the potential is true here. So it means that our reason is also true, but this reason is not explaining the reference point for the electrical circuit that we are using as a reference at the zero potential, means earthing that we are using. It is not explaining that. It means that both of the assertion and reason are true, but our reason is not correctly explaining the assertion here. So again our option B is correct for this question. Next question, number 9, if you will see here, assertion is given, that is the electric potential due to a point charge at a distance r from it varies as 1 by r here. So in if you will see the potential due to the point charge, still we are discussing the same thing, I think, from the question number 7. So as V is directly proportional to 1 by R, you can say, and you can also obviously the due to point charge potential is given by V is equal to K by KQ by R. So from here we can see that V is directly proportional to 1 by R. So it means that V varies for the point charge by as 1 by R. So this is correct for the this concept of the point charge, means our assertion is true here. Now let's see for the reason what is the answer. So for a reason is given, electric potential at a distance small r from the center of a charged sphere varies as 1 by r provided r is less than the radius of the sphere. Now for this concept, if any charge sphere is given to us, and if we have to suppose r is capital R is the radius of this sphere, and we have to calculate potential inside this one. Then due to the charged sphere, here one more thing student, we are talking about the sphere, we are not talking about the spherical cell. So electric field is 0 for the spherical cell, and for which potential is constant. Here is for the sphere, as electric field is not 0, and if you will see the formula for the electric field, then this is given by kq small r upon capital R whole cube. It means here if at r distance we have to find out this electric field, then we can calculate it by this formula. And if you will calculate the potential by using this one, then the potential that is obtained using this, that is integration over this E dot dr. If you will just use this formula to find out the potential here, then you can just integrate this r by using this whole of the concept. So let's just find out what is the potential here. So as v can be written as this k q small r upon r cube dr, and you can take kq is upon r cube as a common, and r dr that will be inside the integral. And if you will take the integration that is from 0 to r, then it will be obtained as r square by 2 here. So it means that our potential is varying with square of this distance for the case when r is less than capital R. Here the condition is given to us, that is electric potential at a distance small r from the center of charged sphere, provided small r less than the radius of the sphere. For this case, potential is varying as this one, not varying as the 1 by r. So it means that our reason is wrong here for this case. So as assertion is true, reason is wrong, then our third option will be correct here. Clear, I think. Next question number 10 is given to us, that is electric field can exist only in material medium. So it means according to this assertion, electric field we cannot get in vacuum or free space. But you know that for free space electric field can be calculated easily, and we are getting also electric field for the free space by as for the free space, suppose if we have some of the point charges, then for due to that point charge you can calculate the electric field, that is equal to kq upon r square at any distance r from the that point charge q here. So where k can have the value for the free space, that is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon 0, and you know that its value is not equal to 0. We are getting its value 9 into 10 to the power 9. So we will always get some value for the electric field. So it means that electric field exists for the material medium as well as for the vacuum or free space. So it means our assertion is wrong here, simple. Now let's see what is the for reason. So reason is given, field lines are continuous in a medium. So here as you know that the field lines or line of forces, it is not necessary that they will be always continuous. Field lines are continuous only when the electric field is uniform. If electric field is non-uniform, continually electric field is varying, then for the varying electric field our field lines will not be uniform there. So it means that our reason is also wrong. So as assertion is wrong, reason is wrong, it means that D option is correct here. Clear? Now let's see question number 11. So question number 11 is assertion is given, that is Gauss law is a general law of electrostatic. So I think there is no need to explain this assertion. You know that Gauss law is simply generally we are using Gauss law to find out the value of electric field by using the concept of the flux and by drawing any Gaussian surface, and for the number of cases we have seen or we have utilized this law. So yes, this is the general law that we can easily accept and we can easily use it. So our assertion is simply true. Next, reason is given, the gravitational flux over any closed surface be a negative quantity. So So assertion is given to us, that is assertion we have discussed. A reason is given, the gravitational flux over any closed surface be a negative quantity. So as you know that we have the Gauss law for the electrostatic field, that is according to that the over the any closed surface the electric flux is equal to 1 by epsilon 0 times to the q here. So according to that definition, if you will see the charge q, then here the charge q can be 0, can be positive, can be negative easily, because charges that can have positive polarity, negative polarity, or it can be neutral. So according to that it can have these all three values. So our electric flux, that is can be 0, positive or negative. But if you will calculate the gravitational flux, so as you know that as we have the in electrostatic we have the space around any charge, that is electric field, and for that we are writing Gauss law of electrostatic. In the same way, you know that the field around any mass, that is known as gravitational field. That point we have discussed in class 11th already. So due to that that gravitational field, there we can also define the concept of field lines there, and we can also calculate the flux there, means the number of gravitational line of forces that are passing through any closed surface, that is known as the flux there. So according to the Gauss law of gravitational field, so here as Gauss law we are defining for every field that we have here. In case of electrostatic, later we will see it for magnetostatic, and for the gravitational field it is also given. So if you will see the Gauss law in the gravitational field, that is given by the close integral over the surface some z dot ds. This is equal to minus of 4 pi capital G into m, where capital G you know that is universal gravitational constant, m is mass of the body, and small g is the acceleration due to gravity. So according to the Gauss law for the gravitational field, this is the formula there. So in this formula you are seeing it has here minus term, and this minus term is representing that the force that is acting between masses, that is always attractive. So as you know that force cannot be repulsive there. So it means that if the force is always attractive, then negative sign is showing that thing. And here in this expression you know that z is already fixed, and if mass of the body you will see, so as mass is always positive only, so it means that for this one whole of the flux that you are seeing, this is the flux, gravitational flux, this will be always negative here. So it means that our reason is also true here. But as this reason is different than the assertion that we have just talked here, so it means that first thing that is given for the Gauss law of electrostatic, and according to that law flux can be negative, positive or 0, but according to our reason the flux is only negative here. So it means that our reason is different, our assertion is different, but both are true here. So it means our B option is correct, means assertion and reason both are true, but B is not explaining correctly the assertion here. Next question number 12 we have assertion is given, that is absolute value of potential is not defined. So here for this question, yes, as you know that the potential is varying with the charge and the distance, so we cannot define any absolute value for the potential, that will have varying value always. Clear? So our assertion is here true easily. So now let's see the reason. So as the reason is given, potential increases in the direction of electric field. So if you will see this reason, then sometimes you can find yes this is true, but because if you will see the variation property, so according to variation property you know that with distance, for suppose for point charge we are talking, so for point charge E is varying in this way and V is varying in this way, but according to this you can see that yes E is also suppose for increasing R E is decreasing, then V is also decreasing here. But this is not true always, because here you can see the relationship between the potential and electric field. So this relation is E is equal to negative gradient of potential. So according to this relation, it means that if E will increase, then with increase in E, potential will decrease here due to this negative sign. So it means that our reason is not true here. Means potential is not increasing in the direction of the electric field, but it will decreasing there. So as our reason is not true, assertion is only true, it means that our third option is correct here. For the 13 number question, assertion is given, that is free charge given to a conductor comes to the surface because of repulsion of like charges. So for this one, as you know that in conductor we are getting a particular property that inside the conductor electric field is zero, because no of the charge is present inside the conductor, all charges are reside over the surface of the conductor. Suppose this is our conductor, and if q charges were inside, then that q charges will start to a positive charges, suppose we are taking. So these all positive charges will start to reside on the surface of this one if this is a conductor. So this is a particular property of conductor that we are using in electrostatic shielding also. So here the reason behind this residing of the charge is on the surface is the repulsion between these charges. As you know that all these positive charges, if it will be inside, then they will start to repel each other, and due to repulsion they will start to go at the surface, and finally at surface they will reside easily, and at a particular distance they will not repel each other more there. So it means that our assertion is easily true here. Now let's see the reason here. So reason is given to us, that is the force of interaction between point charges decreases in inverse square proportion to the distance between them. So this is the I think Coulomb attraction law of force, so we don't have to still discuss it, as according to Coulomb's law you know already it is directly proportional to the inversely proportional to, not directly proportional, inversely proportional to the square of the distance between the 2 point charges. So it means that our reason is also true here, but as our reason is not explaining correctly the assertion here, the assertion is due to the repulsion of same kind of charges, but here the reason is given that the force is varying as a distance, it is not showing the repulsion or attraction for the charges here. So it means that reason is not correct explaining the assertion here, but both are true, then it means our B option is correct for this question. Now let's see the question number 14 here. So for the question number 14, assertion is given, the work done by an external force to move a positive test charge q between point A and B in an electric field is equal to this value. So as you know that the work done is given by suppose we have to just move any test charge q0, then from A to B in the space. So if A to B we have to move due to any charges, and suppose due to the charge in which we have to move this test charge q0 from this point to this point, that has some potential V. So it means that potential at A will be different, potential at B will be different, because you know that potential is varying with distance here. So it means while moving from A to B, it will feel some variation in the potential, and this is given by some difference in this one. So if you will use this formula, then W is given by finally q0 dV here, and you know that here by using this concept E is equal to minus dV by dr, and if you will see from here, then V can be given as this dV is, or V is equal to, we can write negative of minus of E dot dr, and if we have some point, then we can write here, if we have to just find out the value of v from a to b. Suppose we don't know what is the potential at a and what is the potential at b, then we cannot find this value of dv here. But if we will use this formula, then we can find out what is the value of va minus vb. So as you will calculate the potential at a, you will calculate the potential as b, then this will provide you va minus vb by using this formula. So let's put the value here in place of dv. Then finally the value of the work done, that is obtained to be minus of q0 here a to b e dot some dr, or in the place of r, if you will use the for the distance here l, then you can see that this formula is correct, that is given to us. So it means that yes, in the terms of electric field, the work done can be given or can be calculated, and here in this question as work done is given, that is also correct. And the next one, as a reason is given, work done is path independent, that is correct. So that's why our first option A will be correct here. So students, with this question, let's end our session here. Rest of the things or next case study and also assessment rating problems we will discuss in next class. So thank you students for today.